the beginning of the Four Rivers cycle trail. It is very popular. Okay.
We're almost 12 kilometers into the official first day of our 7-8 day ride. And normally we're looking for a red post box to do our stamps, but we found a blue one. And look, it's just a post box, so we're going to keep on going.
Oh, no, telephone.
Oh, it's just a telephone booth. No stamps here. So we'll see you in a few kilometers.
No, we found the right place.
This is 100 meters further on. We found the red post box to do the stamp. We're on the Hangang River route for about 80 kilometers today. It's a beautiful day for this and a pretty busy route because it's a Sunday. Although now it's suddenly going quiet.
Cycling along and we come to Hainan City. Welcome to Hainan City. And there's Gail.
Welcome to Hainan City.
Hey! Going along the river's edge, we've just been past some base borders. We're getting strong. As we go along this path, every now and again, there are these little pillboxes, which must be from the Korean War for defending the river. Came across this amazing cherry blossom passageway.
It's the cherry blossom season and it's Arbor Day weekend that we're on, so perfect time to be in Korea.
And here I go. And we're coming into a tunnel. How do you like that? This is an old railway tunnel. We stopped for our lunch on the path at the Verification Centre number 6. There it is.
We've done 43 kilometers today and we're rewarded with tomatoes and lettuce and egg, which is not enough. Not enough. So we've moved on to the strawberry almonds, which should be exciting.
We're cycling through a tunnel which used to be a rail tunnel but now is a bicycle tunnel, and it is freezing cold. Are you cold, Gail?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's nice day.
We ended up in the middle of the festival, so the cycle route is not much cycling at the moment. Once we get to the other side, we'll be able to ride again. Hey Gail.
Hello, our second day of riding, aiming for 90 kilometers today. We're amped.
And we're coming up to our next certification centre, which is just ahead.
Alright, now we're going to see if we can find a good clear stamp to prove that we've been here.
So this is another water control dam where we cycle across, which is quite cool. And there's cycle routes all through this parkland area.
So we've just stopped for breakfast. What's unusual about your breakfast today, Ethel?
We had a buckwheat noodle soup, which was a slush puppy. It had ice in the soup.
Very
cold.
fascinating.
And it was very nice.
This is so cool. This is why we came to this breakfast stop, because we cycled past and it's steaming pots getting ready for the day that smell delicious. Where are we?
We are, I don't know.
Yeongju, I think it's called. We're in the old pavilion to enter the city. Beautiful gates. Looking down on where we've just ridden from. All the way up there and beyond. Ein Man is going into the bakery. Yeah, there he goes. A bit decadent. We're only about 20 minutes after breakfast, but we couldn't help but stop. Look at this. It's a Marlenka cake.
Nice.
Have we got to the certification center? Oh, it's a library.
It's a library. It's another fake one. On we go.
They built this path a little bit too steep to cycle over, so you can't even try to cycle.
Very enforced.
Riding through the wetlands.
Beautiful. On the island. Look, 58 kilometers to Chungju. Quite a lot for an hour.
59 k's to go, and I almost just broke my derailleur, but it's holding on, so let's hope it's fine.
Behold, we're looking for number 11 after 30 kilometers, and we found snow shovel storage unit. Kind of related because there's a lot of snow from the cherry blossom, but also not. Onward we go.
So here you can see the cherry blossom trees down on the bottom, and there's the cherry blossom flowering trees up at the top.
I made it! Only just.
Riding along here, and beautiful cherry blossoms and the river on the one side, and then on the other side houses, little vegetable gardens, and it's difficult to know whether it's subsistence agriculture or Tonight's camping was little unknown, but we found a little campground 8 kilometers south of Chungju, and so yeah, looks like we'll make it just in time for dinner.
We are saved!
Hooray!
Hooray!
We're passing through a beautiful valley at the moment with farmland on the one side and the river on the other side, with steep cliffs, and we're climbing up to what's going to be a crazy pass. The worst, well, the most exhausting day of the lot.
Alright, we've just come out of Chungju area this morning, and now we are going towards Swanbo, beautiful background. And on the other side of the road is the glamping option, which we didn't take last night because we were free camping. But that would be the way you could do it in luxury. A chilly day today. Here I am.
And up to the mountains we go. So we're going uphill now, and the cherry blossoms up here haven't started yet. You can see the rice fields that have been harvested.
Well, we're almost into Swanbo, and we've come across a very pleasant decoration. Beautiful.
And on the other side of the road are
Rice fields, rice paddies. And
Busy
these ones
being
are
flooded.
wet. Yeah. Into spring, it's all starting. Pigs and a certification booth. Can the day get any better?
Happy pigs.
We found an awesome monument to all of the different animal years that relate. And anyway, what, the chicken? Look who's here! 2005.
Erin's birth
Erin.
year is a chicken.
Erin, it's so fitting. And good news for you, Ali. No wonder you and Melly get on so well. You have the same birth year as the dog. There we go. Ali, 2006.
And that's why Melody respects you.
True.
She doesn't respect chickens.
First disappointment of the day. We were just heading for our foot spa. And when we got here, there's no water. What a pity. Stinky feet prevail. Okay. So, thumbs up to our ride so far. But that's what happens if your finger gets caught in the spokes when things derail.
We're off to the big hill now, which is the other side of this town, which is a bit scary. We thought we couldn't find a foot spa, but we found one
It's heavenly. You can leave me here.
in the middle of a avenue of cherry blossoms.
So good. The walking has begun. And may not end for a while.
Yeah, this hill is way too steep. After a long slog of pushing up the hill, it's nice to be going downhill through the countryside. And those are the hills we're headed to. Hopefully we don't have to go all the way over the top. Here comes Gail. Hooray!
First of the two hills.
That was the littlest hill, sadly. There's the bigger hill.
Bunch of champions. Lettuce, tomato. Sushi roll for Westerners.
It's a ruined little town which probably got destroyed by the bypass. And it's only cyclists who come through now, just about. We're going up hills and Gail's playing music to motivate herself.
Yeah, I'm taking on in Hurryong.
And this is the beginning of the big hill. We've climbed up the hill all the way from up there.
3.8 kilometers so far. And another 0.8 to go.
Hooray!
Woohoo!
But we're not riding up, we're just pushing.
Thank goodness not. We made it to the top of In Hurryong, 4.5 kilometers, 10% slow pushing all the way. Exhausting. But we're here.
We are. That was worthy. After all that hard work, now we're heading back home, back downhill again.
So we got our jumpers on. It's going to get cold
Yeah.
because we're going to go that fast.
I came down the hill at quite a pace and I've been waiting here for a while for Gail. He takes things a bit more cautiously.
Ride my brakes.
After a hard day of hard cycling, but mostly pushing up hills, we came into this town and we couldn't seem to find anywhere to eat. And then we saw chicken place.
Chicken. This is the new Korean fast food and we're all here for it.
Gail wasn't too sure about it, but as soon as she
Awesome.
smelt it and tasted it and felt how warm it was,
Protein.
nice. Chicken and chips and radish pickle.
For health.
We've just picked up our new river.
Do we know what it's called?
No.
No. But it's beautiful.
And we'll be riding down this one for quite a while. And we earned it, that's for sure.
Okay, so it is our third night on the bicycle path and we have found another free camping site where a whole lot of other locals have pitched up on a beautiful river, cherry blossom there, and we're down that side, looking good so far.
This is our camping spot. It's a lovely spot, just next to the river. A bit of free camping, but the wind, as the sun has gone down, the wind has come up, and I've had to tie the tent to the bicycles and put rocks on all the corners, and hoping it'll not flap too much during the night. But it's looking cozy.
Good morning on day 4. Now this is where we've camped, but if we went cycling today we could go off on these little miniature trains off into the mountains. Pretty cute.
This is a little bit concerning. I don't know, as tourists, whether we should be afraid.
We're harmless, we're harmless.
In Korea, they do golf very differently to how the rest of the world does it. It's more like a massive game of croquet, where they fit the whole golf course into just a little sliver of land, and then they play with these big croquet balls. The cherry blossoms on the ground have made like a pink snow everywhere. Quite obviously you can see the cherry blossom season is coming to an end, and these trees have got leaves on.
Now Coffee Bay this morning is fantastic because we can recharge all of our stuff after a few nights of wild camping, and we get to eat this as well.
Another recharge.
Another recharge, yes.
Throughout the trail we've seen old people doing weeding. It seems as though it's some form of herb that grows, and yeah, they're harvesting it. And then on some bushes you see them old people plucking the leaves, so it must be some sort of a tea bush. I often see people out in the fields doing manual labour. Oh, that was Gail going past. You can see the rice is growing very strong here. It's obviously quite far into the rice growing season, because as we go further south it gets warmer. You can still see a few cherry blossom trees on the mountainside, but mostly the cherry blossoms are coming to an end of their season. This is very sweet. The local city has put these little fan things along the path. It's saying Korea and Sangju City. Beautiful wetlands along here. I've seen 2 pheasants and lots of blue and white cranes. It's really beautiful. Oh, and there's a blue crane just as I talk. A very straight path here, carrying on forever with a headwind.
It's like 20.
This is a crazy steep hill.
It looks like it's half of a 90.
Yes.
I'm calling it 40%.
It feels like it's 40. It's so steep. Can barely push up. Whew. I don't understand why there's a happy snowman and an umbrella on this crazy path, but I suspect it's probably saying if it's raining or it's snowing, don't go this way.
This is not looking like an official path. Less and less.
I'm off to go and see the grave of the loyal cow.
Yes. Was it worthy?
It was a very, very loyal cow.
All right, there we go. Ethel's joined a battalion. Let's see if he can outrun them.
Nak Dong Gang have really gone into cycling. There's a bicycle museum which is actually immense, in this bridge with the cycling. There goes Gail.
Welcome to day 4, and we're heading towards Andong Dam and past this really beautiful little agricultural village. There's the pagoda up on the top, overlooking the fields. Just sort of look lovely. 60 k's to go to the dam. At what, 2 o'clock?
And it's another beautiful cherry orchard. They just carry on in this place. But we're exhausted. We've almost done 100 kilometers. And it's been a long day. But we're hoping to find somewhere to stay. Preferably with a roof over it.
The sun always looks so weak on the horizon. So this room was made for us. We had to arrive here tonight because look, wine route, Senekal, welcome to the heart of the Free State. We're literally in the Free State, Sasolburg, it says. This is where we are.
Ringland.
Crazy.
Wildlife, Rodenthal.
It's a South African happy Kurental.
This is hilarious.
Hilarious, but
In
we're
the
so
middle-
happy.
In the
So
middle
happy.
of Korea, we get the South African one.
I love Hangdong. We have enjoyed our stay here. Very luxurious stay in a hotel. The Happy, what was it? The Happy, whatever.
This is the largest and oldest brick pagoda in all of Korea. Now it's watching over a freeway, but this used to be an ancient temple area. There's nothing standing there anymore, just the brick pagoda. And just Athol, out for a morning cycle. So this is our furthest flung certification point that we're finding. We thought it was going to be much further, but we've done a detour of 80 kilometers to get to this one certification booth. We're super happy to be here.
And not just a detour of 80 kilometers, but we have to go back 80 kilometers
That's
as well.
right, so 160 kilometers in total. We are very committed to this thing. Oh yeah, that's pretty.
This is the river and a little bend with a hill, which is why we are pushing again. And there's a tour group just ahead of us who are resolutely cycling, but not that for us, and we're keeping up with them despite pushing. Just cycled through a lovely little village and then going through the rice paddies and back to the levees. It's snowing petals. Here we are out in the middle of nowhere, riding the trail, and we've got pizza for lunch.
So awesome.
And the irony is that we're eating this at the same place we ate lunch yesterday,
At
which
the soil farm.
was the soil farm where they recycle soil for the farmers. Wasn't planned this way, but this is the only bench we've seen for ages. There's a pheasant just down there. Off he goes.
Here's a campsite we could stop at, because everyone needs a giant duck in their life. Some accommodation options. So sweet. It's a Confucian academy. This must be centuries old. And just coming out of, or into Sangju. Look at all those lovely structures. It's been 70 k's between certification points, so this is a very hard won stamp. Beautiful area of the Nak Dong Hang.
Going through some wild areas today. We're just looking for a place to stay. We'll see what we find. As we're cycling along, we can hear someone talking on a loudspeaker, and it seems as though they're broadcasting radio programs to the apple trees. We went past another one where they were broadcasting K-pop to the apple trees, and we think that they're trying to encourage them to grow better. This morning, the trees are looking very green. It's looking very spring. Going through a lovely wooded area on the outskirts in the suburb of Gummy, and nice to get a bit of shade. It's going to be a hot day today. Going through the fields as we're coming up to our breakfast spots. A whole lot of people weeding over there, quite hard work. And there in the distance is our city, and that's how far we've got to go before we get to the airport. 249 kilometers. Someone's having a little concert here on their own next to the river.
Go! Yeah!
Gail's following the lead of the locals and looking like a criminal on the run from the law. But Taylor Swift sort of contradicts that. Today's been rather hot, and we've just had an hour-long rest and feeling more empowered after getting out of the midday sun. Heading into Daegu. And the next checkpoint. And here we have our third little snake. He was moving across the road, but when he saw me, he stopped. Now, is he gonna go? I don't know. Gail nervously passing the snake on the ground.
I wonder if there's poisonous snakes here. Can I stop there? So it's 9:30 p.m. and we've just realised that we've checked into a Love Motel. And this is why.
Because the lights. Yeah,
Disco lights.
disco lights.
Good night.
And the big mirror next to the bed is another giveaway.
No.
We have been getting a little bit too sunburnt, so today we're going incognito mode. Like the locals, covering our faces instead of putting sun cream on, because we're running out of sun cream very quickly. And Gail's covered all areas of her body so that she won't get sunburnt at all. I have shorts on, so my knees are going to get a weird tan again.
We're looking back towards where we stayed last night in the hotel, and we've just climbed a massive hill to reach this pagoda and this beautiful viewpoint. But where we're going to, we think, is back down again and to one of the oldest Seowons, which is a Confucian academy. We think it's probably down there, looking at all those buildings. And just loving sitting on the top of a pagoda, drinking some mandarin juice and staying out of the sun, which is very hot these days.
We've just climbed a massive mountain and we've discovered there's a cycle path through a tunnel right next door.
No, God, you're kidding me. We've reached the Dodong Seowon, the ancient Confucian academy, and it is looking really regal just on the hill here. Quite beautiful. I wonder if the founding monks of the Confucian school planted this tree hundreds of years ago. Looks certainly ancient enough to match up with the monastery. I mean, Seowon.
Behind me is what seems to be an autonomous driving testing center, because there's a fake urban environment and yeah, for a place for cars to drive around to go to nowhere.
Trumpet music plays at the certification booth.
We've definitely hit summer, and you can see the fields are growing beautifully, and the bushes next to the river are verdant and green, and so are the hills, and it is hot and sunny. We had an hour-long rest between 12 and 1, and are back on our bikes because we have 100 k's to do again today. It's Saturday and just got to the top of a hill in the middle of nowhere, and here's an exercise park with a little concert happening for a few old ladies in a pagoda. Very sweet. After a long hot day, we've got another hill, but it's through beautiful forests and it's quite nice and cool up here. But man, oh man, that was a climb and a half. Whew. The signage didn't show us the way to go, so we decided to make our own way. Yeah, and so we're going through the rice paddies at the moment, or whatever they are, and much better than being on busy roads, and we'll just find our way through the farming area. The campsite was full, so we're having to look for options to camp, possibly wild. Or we got something sweet to drink, and
Radex rules.
gave us a bit of energy to finish as the sun has set.
I had a very successful night of stealth camping in this stunning spot under a pagoda. And that's what we wanted to do from the beginning, is have a night in the pagoda. Very exciting.
We're out cycling just at sunrise, getting going, heading to breakfast. Hopefully it's
Our last day.
our last day.
Last few days.
We're hoping breakfast isn't too far away because we're both quite hungry. We're just 20 kilometers outside of Busan, and we're exhausted. We had a lovely lunch, and we've met a whole bunch of people who've said they've noticed us on the road, and we're very happy to see that we're so close to the end. But now we're gonna have a rest. Oh, I'm exhausted. We just had a nap under this tree, and we've got 20 kilometers to go, and we feel it.
We're going to crawl into Busan, but very proud of ourselves. But we've already done 75 kilometers, and it's pretty much 1:30. So yeah, our last day has been another epic already.
Just 3 kilometers to go, and there I can see the lock, which is our end point. Hooray! We are exhausted.
We have arrived after almost 800 kilometers. There's a line waiting to say congratulations on the final.
Hooray! And off we go.
Alright, last push off.
We're here! Hooray!
We made it.
We made it.
All the way to Busan on the east coast, and now we're going to go stamp our very last stamp in our passport book.
Yay!
I want to get it the right way out, for sure. It's hard to tell.
Just
Do whatever.
Hooray!
Lost.